Welcome back to Resolutio E-mini day trading system. Resolutio is not a pasta dish. It's not an opera. It's a very good E-mini day trading system method. All right. So it's based on a certain principle of buyer and seller action and reaction. You can trade this by just looking at the charts. Okay, this is different than any other method. So you may see some of these systems here that look like they could be similar, but they're not. Each system is unique and has its own approach. Now, why is that? Well, price behaves in different ways from day to day, right? So we want methods that could cover a broad spectrum of price action behavior for optimal performance. So we're looking to run all sorts of systems at the same time, different systems on the same asset. Okay, so but you don't have to do that. You can pick one system and just go with it, because all you need is consistency, solid consistency of performance that you can simply compound over time. Okay, so let me repeat that. And people who don't have that much experience have a hard time understanding this concept. It sounds boring to them, okay? If you go look at big business around the planet, are they trying to do some epic, super extraordinary thing all the time? No. Most businesses that are super successful do solid things, and they get their math figured out. So on average, based on various factors, demographics, if it's a retail shop in the real world, bricks and mortar type of business, they get their numbers figured out. They get their average return on advertising figured out. They get their types of ads figured out, and they don't try to always be super duper. Okay, they don't always try to do something extraordinary, because if one did that, then that takes a lot of energy and focus, and it can be exhaustive over time. And if you have a business dependent on being extraordinary, then that business can easily falter. But if you have a business dependent on being able to do basic, boring things over and over and still make money, well, now you have a business that can easily, or much more easily, stand the test of time. Now, if you can make consistent cash flow over time, then what happens? Well, just think. If you have a system that can make $1,000 a day, okay, and so you make that $1,000 a day, and you keep on making that $1,000 a day, and what happens? Well, if your account is $10,000, well, in 10 days it's $20,000, okay. In 20 days it's $30,000. In 40 trading days it's 30 trading days, it's $40,000. Okay. All right. So, okay, that's great. That sounds really great. So by the end of the year, where there are 220,000 trading days, you can make $220,000, right? If you have that consistent average of $1,000 a day. So if instead you thought a little bit more strategic about those returns, and you thought, wait a minute, if I'm making $1,000 a day so consistently, what if, as my account grows, I increase my position size in the same proportion, or some optimal proportion that you figure out by crunching more numbers? by looking at your system's performance results, your percent winning, your streaks of winning versus losing, your average profit or average revenue when you do have a winning trade, and your average costs when you do have a losing trade. And you put that all together, and maybe you can have a little bit bigger of a position size. All right. And if you can increase your position size each day as your account grows, then what happens? Well, you're going to have a lot more than $220,000 by the end of the year. Way more. Okay, that's called what? Compounding. It accelerates the growth of your trading account. And so I want to expand the minds out there. Think a little bigger. I don't know what your personality is like. Maybe you're a blue-collar type of guy or gal, and you just want to make your bare minimum and live on the edge all the time. And paycheck to paycheck concept, or if you want to think more wealth-minded, if you have other things to do, bigger ambitions, and good works you want to do that require money and whatever, then you have to think a little bigger. Okay, you have to think of these types of concepts, and plus they're more exciting. It gives you drive and purpose. It gives you more purpose than just simply showing up, time to make the donuts, and then punching your clock and going, right? That your life becomes very monotonous. It can be in trading. I remember back when, kind of getting to a point where I just kind of got tired. I didn't get tired. I just thought, you know what? I better think a little bigger than just living from options expiration to options expiration, right? So I thought, this was many years ago. So I thought, let's do some other things. Okay, so anyways, here's an update on some performance here. Added a few more days here. And, you can email us to get on our case about building out our sales letters. It's been terrible with the marketing side of things because we're so systems development minded, which is a good thing for you, so if you're looking to get a system from us. So let's go look here. I just touched up a couple things. Put the colon there. Okay, so I put the net profit in bold, right? So this is what, August 4th. So should be all day, 45 points. Here is August 2nd, 31 points. Here's RTY on actually today, up to the point of real time. So there was the close didn't happen yet. So we just had up to 12:30. So just pop that in there. And here we have E-mini, our ES, okay, switched up contracts. And here's A25. Okay, it's all 2023, just, recent data. And look at how many points it made this day. 147 points. Okay. That's a lot of money. You should put the money translations up there. Okay, so let's just look here. So 147 points, 0.5 times 50. That could have been a daily paycheck of yours, $7,375. Now, how realistic is it to get those results? Well, I think that, once you learn the system, which shouldn't take long, maybe 2 hours, just in terms of learning what it is. Then you do some historical study, of course. You got to look at the charts over different days, and I do some historical paper trading, and you just kind of work that part out. Do some demo trading, just practice, common sense stuff. Man, I mean, some of you who can just simply do something simply, probably a few days, and you may make some mistakes. I mean, I don't know about your attention span. People's attention span these days are pretty bad, just due to the cell phones, social media, bad food, and all sorts of things, you know. So if you're on drugs, illicit or conventional, quote unquote. Anyways, so here 147. So that's a sweet payday, okay. And here's the day after the Monday. It's 68.7 points. Now, this day, in comparison to this day, obviously is different, right? What's different about this day? This day is moderately fast. I wouldn't even, ES has had even faster days, okay? And it was fairly smooth. I mean, Resolutio takes out certain types of price swings. And this is one trade at a time, one trade, get in, and then just stop out and then wait for the next. But occasionally something is just so ridiculously obvious where you already made a nice juicy profit and you have a trigger. Instead of waiting to stop out, you can just hit the reverse button. But these, I think there was maybe one reverse trade on average, okay? But most all of these were just one at a time. So technically, you could have made more on certain reverse trades than what you see here. So anyways, here's this day. Now, this day was rougher. There's a lot of spastic action, like a seismograph. The morning was, really messy. But, you're going to have those days, all right? You're going to have those days, and they happen every once in a while. What, maybe, depends. These days, it's maybe once or twice in a month, maybe 3 times. But I shouldn't even say days, because that's often just during the morning time. And you have this, you have a phase in the market that can resolve in the afternoon, or sometimes you have a nice morning, and then you get just a listless, itchy, scratchy is what I call it, a seismograph looking chart, which is kind of making lines everywhere, right? And so you have that. But 68 points still with ES. ES obviously is moving a little faster than RTY, but both pay out $50 a point on the E-minis. And of course, if you're trading E-mini micros, then you just take you just take 1/10. So on this $7,375 profit example, minus commissions, and you can count up the trades and multiply that times your commissions. Okay, all right. So if you take 1/10 of this, so that would be $737. Okay, $737 on a micro. Okay, one micro contract. Let's say you put $120 in your account to start or something like that, because you don't need a whole lot. Just imagine you can almost 7-fold your account, and if you happen to hit that on your first day. Anyways, I don't want to imply that you're going to hit this on your first day, and some people get a little too excited, but keep it real. And also know that you'll probably screw up and do some goofy things for a while, and then you just work it out. That's why you demo trade, and then you start with one contract. Stay small until you see all these strange different price action configurations, and in real time how to react to them. Okay, but we'll teach you all the details in this course, which will teach you the secret sauce, the secret recipe of this system. And I think you can do very well. I think you can add quite a bit of value to your life learning this way to trade. Anyways, I'm running out of time. I think there's a 15-minute cut. I forgot. Okay, thanks. It's Resolutio. Okay, thanks.